No, it's not happening. Right, can I just have that?
Yeah.
It's on the verge of bending then, I've just got it in.
How long have you been working on this, Dave?
Well, it's really hard to tell because there's been bits and pieces because of the weather and the lack of materials. But I think probably if we had it all together, probably about 3 solid days. It's really hard to tell, but I think it's about that.
Yeah.
3 solid days.
You had a bit of trouble with the weather?
Yeah, it's been raining quite a bit. What's been happening, what was happening last week was just getting like 2 days of rain, then 1 day of sort of half decent weather, then another couple of days of rain, then another. So it sort of throws you out when the weather's like that. I was working out one day in the rain, but then it got a bit heavy and I thought it's not a good idea getting a cold or a flu or something. So the main problem has been materials, like with getting all the materials. We know where to get them, we just haven't had the transport to get them, to pick them up. We went out the other night with a trolley and got pulled by the police after coming off this derelict site with loads of wood. They made us take it back.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a bit out of order.
They made us take it back. There was three police cars and a police van turned up and like searched us, like tried to process us, but obviously they got false names, allegedly. And then as soon as they left, we went back and like we sort of what they done was they sort of escorted us to the site to supposedly to put the wood back on the site. But as soon as they drove off, we just sort of scuttling around the corner and went around the back streets and had another go at getting it here. And then we got about 3/4 of the way here, just thought we was home and dry, and then the police pulled up again. And like this time they escorted us back, like driving behind us with behind the trolley as we pulled it, and watched us put all the wood back.
Really?
Yeah, that's community policing for you.
You think they wouldn't be that bothered, you know? They've got better things to do.
Yeah, well, it seems like there's been there's a few people thinking that there's been a sort of bit of a major change around with the attitude of the police around here towards us. You know, when we first come here, they was being really sort of sympathetic and wasn't giving any hassle at all. But there seems to be a different sort of change around. Someone was like pulled up by the police the other day painting a mural or a picture on the fence outside. The police pulled him up and was threatening to arrest her and for criminal damage. You know, I mean, that's okay. Technically speaking, it is criminal damage, but they was turning a blind eye to that type of stuff at first, and as they should really. But now, I don't know why. Maybe the dodgy handshakes brigade has like had a word with them. Said like, you're being too easy going. These people are being too effective. We better like put the pressure on a little bit more. I don't know. But they definitely changed their attitude towards us. But yeah, so materials is like it's the main. I mean, there's been like at least about 5 days I've been out working this because I haven't had the materials. If I had the materials, this would be finished by now.
What's the most you're looking for? The decent bits of wood and...
Yeah, what I was looking for is all these sort of beams and rafters and stuff like that. I was looking, well, I've got enough of that now. I've got enough to build the actual structure, the framework. I've got enough wood to do that now. So once I've built this framework, then I've got to start getting the panelling, the plywood to panel it up.
And you've been here since the day the site was taken?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Apart from 1 day and 1 night, I've been here all the time. Yeah.
So you're quite, what's the word? Totally into it, like.
Yeah, yeah, that's all. Yeah, yeah. I'm sort of totally into. I'm into the concept of what this land is ours is about, but I'm not really. To be honest, I'm a bit. I feel a bit disappointed with some of the people, some of the main players in the land is ours, because I feel that they're being it's a bit too compromised and a bit too softly, like, you know. That although it's I think maybe it's because these people have never been in a position that I've been in, or some other people have been in, where they literally have been homeless, they have nowhere to sleep, and they have no food. If you've been in that position, then you look at things completely different. It's much more serious to you. And I don't know. That's just a guess. I don't know what the real reason is, but all I know is that I'm not happy with the moderate way of thinking that some of the people here have got. Not the people that are on the ground, but the people that are in the office and stuff like that. You know.
It seems to be a lot more about building and homeless issue now, as opposed to a bit of a media stunt. It seems to be a lot more settled. Feels a lot more serious. What do you reckon on it?
Yeah, it's much more serious. Yeah, because I mean, the first week was like a media circus, and it was just like the first couple of days is okay, but then you get a bit pissed off with it, and you want them to go, and so you can get on with the work. But yeah, it's now definitely take on that serious sort of edge where we are seriously trying to construct an eco village. You know, it wasn't a publicity stunt. It's no longer a publicity stunt. It's real life. But
oh, I see. Private videos going on here. Eh? This looks good.
Where is this?
yeah, it's getting there.
Where did you get these ones from?
These big ones.
Yeah.
Got from a building site.
Did you?
From a derelict land down the road.
Excellent. I showed you a photograph of the changeover. You know, when we handed this. I think you were in there.
Look at
Actually.
what you're doing down there.
Did you see them?
Well, we handed keys over.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, no. Why you say
I've seen some of them, but someone else.
No, why you say you do?
Yes, you do. I told you last
I
night.
know. You told me, but wind you up.
This is looking good.
There's you, Neil.
Oh, look.
Proof you're part of history.
I recommend the shower, man.
Standing beside the vicar, was I?
Behind it.
He had the wine, you see. I was sort of first in line.
What was going through your mind?
What was the name of that vicar, by the way?
Reverend Wimshurst. He's in the church just up the road there in Plough Road. Tenant, yeah.
It's the best one you should have done.
Or bird's mouth. That's quite good for these. You know, where you clip it into the.
Tenant with a wedge in the back of it.
Yeah, but you know we don't use that in this country, tussock tenons.
Yeah, but those are the ones they use in Japan, you see, and they withstand.
Well, they use them abroad a lot as well, because a lot of the joints are just put together without glue.
Ah, not even a nail.
Well, they use a dowel. They use a long dowel, and they bang it through. And if you set the hole slightly out of line, what they do is they put the hole out of alignment in the tenon, and they have a long pointed dowel, and as you bang it in, it pulls the joint up. So you have a hole like that.
Out of the other one's out of.
That's it. And as you push the tenon in, it pulls it up. And they use elm, something like that, hard, you know, and they bang.
Where's the dowel? Dowel.
The dowel.
Yeah.
What is
go
it?
inside. You will go inside.
It goes right through, like if you had a piece of wood coming tunneling into here, the dowel goes straight through here and comes out the other side. So it sticks.
Oh, I see.
And they just leave it.
I understand.
Right? And the tenon is coming in
That's
there.
the Japanese joint. I did in
Well,
college. I did something like that
yeah.
in college. They're very hard.
They use joints like that. Very difficult to take it apart once you've done it.
I had a Japanese book, you know. My teacher was like, he was really good. We had the board to do, and we had the Japanese as well joints, and they're really difficult. I cut my hand in one of them.
Well, because they do a lot of it. They do a lot of it dry. That's why they don't glue it, and they use wedges and they use stresses to hold the thing together. You know, so it's the joint itself which is.
Did you build a Chinese tea house?
I've never done any Chinese joints.
Right, the roof structure, you know,
Yeah, the weight holds it together. No, this is really good. I like this fan light here. You know, that's really good.
Well, there's going to be glass windows.
Well, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I
We've
thought.
done that. Brilliant.
It's good. Excellent.
See, David's pointing out all the good parts, mate.
All the bits you've done.
No. I don't want to get involved in that one.
Had some permaculture, not permaculture, ecological building design people came down the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they wanted to do a lecture in the roundhouse.
Oh, excellent.
And
will they do it?
Their lecturer never turned up, and the people that was meant to be coming for the lecture were lecturers themselves and students.
Yeah.
And two of them were sent over here to have a look at this.
Yeah.
And I told them how it works, and I said, oh, if you like, you can bring your friends over for what it's worth. You can come. I'll show you how this house is meant to design and how it's meant to work.
Excellent.
And I was really pleased with it. One of them, who was a lecturer himself in ecological building design, said, if one of my students had built this, I'd be over the moon with it.
Excellent.
And then I said, well, if you like, we can go over to the roundhouse and like just pull our information and knowledge on it. We went over there. I sat down and they just asked me loads of questions and I was answering them. And at the end of it, just before I left, one who organised it said, well, we normally pay 20 quid to our lecturers, so here's 20 quid, and gave me 20 quid.
Wonderful.
Couldn't believe it. There was praise in my house, like they give me 20 quid.
Excellent, Dave. Really good.
Yeah.
Well, I tried to get, I don't know whether they came, but I tried to get a whole lot of students that I teach, interior design students, to come along here about a couple of weeks ago. I don't know whether they came, because I only go to the college very infrequently, but I said, come along here and you'll see lots of interesting buildings, you know. But it's in the end, it's logical, isn't it? Really, what you're doing is logical, and if you've got a logical mind, really, it's just a bit of planning and it's logic.
Yeah.
Really. And the training is just to do it as well as you can do it, sort of thing. You know, the joints and things.
Yeah.
But you do marvellously well if you've just done this with a bolster.
Look at the black job.
It was all done with a bolster.
Not a carpenter, but he's lapped up first.
Maybe I'll try and see if I've got a spare chisel and bring it along.
Yeah.
But then you've got to keep it sharp, haven't you? That's
That's
the
what I
trick.
said to them. If you sharpen these children this morning, you'll be happy actually. Yeah, he's home.
Well, I'll see if I've got. Well, you got a chisel there. You got a half-inch chisel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be happy, man.
Yeah, that'd be okay. That's all right.
It looks excellent. Anyway, congratulations.
Cheers. Let's hope it gets finished before we get evicted.
Okay, well, let's hope there's a housewarming party. All these houses
Yeah.
are getting built. We'll have
Or a village,
housewarming
or a
party.
village warming party. There was some people that were saying that what I should do is like get some big rafters, slide them underneath, then tie oil drums to underneath them, sealed oil
And roll
drums,
it away.
and then float it on the river like have a houseboat.
Yes, well.
Put some wheels on it as well, it'd be like an amphibious house.
But, I mean, this sort of thing you've done here, you know, it's bloody brilliant. It's really, you know, it's just so smart.
It's based on the design that I saw.
I mean, I tell you
years
what,
ago.
what you could have done there is you could have cut that out there. Because
Yeah, I was going to do that.
If you, I mean, you can do that with a saw quite easily, can't you? Because it's not against the grain. And the point about that is that when you have tiles on this, all the pressure is that way.
So the
and
more span you got there,
that's
the more
right. That's right. It
stronger is.
resists it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know this is like putting one bit of wood on top of the other. Is
But
like
it,
the best
but it
way of
makes
doing it,
sense, doesn't it? Because you're giving yourself sort of space for it. So no, it's very
Yeah.
What you
impressive.
could do is put a bit of
I'm
noggin
sort of
underneath
trying, it's
that.
like a balancing act. I mean, I want to.
Noggin here. He's got a.
Where things have got to be really strong structurally, where I think I can get away with it, I don't do it, you know, and because it's I'm working within a time scale really that. I mean, to do it all properly would take probably like half again as long.
But are people? I mean, he's taking videos. Are you videoing all the structures on the site? Are you trying to get a record of all of them? Because it's bloody important.
Yeah, I think that's.
It is going to be important that we have a record of all of the buildings.
My one just a shanty town, look like Kingston, you know.
Is it?
Not only a record of all the buildings, but through the different
Maybe
stages.
about 3
Yeah,
hours.
No, I think it's important.
Well, the thing is that history, to me, is fundamental to like record our history, because if we leave it to the system, then we know what happened. Then we know what they've done in the past. They withhold certain parts of our history. They never teach us certain parts of our history, and they control us because they control our past.
This is people's history.
Yeah.
It's good to see positive stuff as well, you know.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's why I think the inquiry is important as well, because we've got to make sure they know about what's happening here, even if they don't want to, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dave, I'll probably see you Tuesday.
Okay.
Best of luck with it.
Cheers. 7/8.